grinding every day. Long hours, no backup, no accountability. That ends now. The Empower Solopreneur Mastermind gives you one simple advantage: a weekly power session that turns isolation into domination. Every Friday morning on Zoom, you'll get real coaching and real feedback to make real moves. Join a group of driven professionals in a program designed for solopreneurs and people working at home. Stop getting stuck. Start scaling. Seats are limited. Lock in yours today at modernobserver.com/empower-mastermind.
The Iranian war expands. The U.S. Post Office is running out of money. RFK Jr. pushes nutrition education, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lopkin, and here's the news you need to know. President Trump declared Friday on Truth Social that there would be no deal to end the U.S. war against Iran without unconditional surrender, rejecting mediation efforts that Iran's president said had begun. In his post, Trump said that after Iran surrenders, we and many of our wonderful and very brave allies and partners will work tirelessly to bring Iran back from the brink of destruction, making it economically bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. U.S. crude oil on Friday posted its biggest weekly gain in futures trading history, surging 35% this week as the war triggered a major disruption to global fuel supplies. Oil rose to $100 a barrel over the weekend. The U.S. stock market fell Friday, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropping 450 points. Meanwhile, intense Israeli strikes continued pounding Tehran and Beirut overnight, while Iran has attacked neighboring Gulf nations with missiles and drones. The State Department said thousands of U.S. citizens were still stranded in the Middle East. Russia has been sharing intelligence with Iran about the location of U.S. forces in the Middle East in an attempt to help Tehran fight back against Operation Epic Fury. The intelligence assistance from Russia could help Iran locate American warships, radar, or other communication systems, but there is no indication that Moscow is helping direct Iran missiles or drone strikes. Meanwhile, Ukrainian military personnel are expected to arrive in the Persian Gulf soon to help countries there fend off Iranian drone attacks. President Trump issued a warning to Iran on Saturday in a social media post. He wrote, quote, "Today Iran will be hit very hard, under serious consideration for complete destruction and certain death because of Iran's bad behavior. Are areas and groups of people that were not considered for targeting up until this moment in time." An explosion rocked the U.S. Embassy in Oslo, Norway around 1 a.m. local time Sunday, damaging the entrance to the consular section and sending a thick cloud of smoke over the surrounding neighborhood. No one was injured, but Norwegian police said the blast appears to have been a deliberate attack and are not ruling out terrorism. Investigators deployed dogs, drones, and a helicopter to search for one or more suspects, though no arrests have been made. Nearby residents described hearing a loud bang that shook their homes. Police said it was natural to view the incident in the context of the current security situation, with U.S. diplomatic posts around the world on heightened alert during the Iran conflict. Multiple American embassies in Gulf states have already been hit by Iranian retaliatory strikes in recent days. Sunday, an Iranian clerical council selected Mojtaba Khamenei, the second-born son of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, to be the country's new supreme leader, saying the name of Khamenei will continue. Earlier on Sunday, President Trump said in an interview with ABC News that regardless of whom Iran chose, if he doesn't get approval from us, he's not going to last long. Trump warned last week that Mojtaba Khamenei would be unacceptable. Bahrain announced that an Iranian drone attack damaged a desalination plant, responsible for bringing critical supplies of drinking water to the region. Also yesterday, U.S. Central Command announced that a seventh U.S. service member died as a result of injuries sustained in the war on March 1st. A suspect is in custody after IEDs were thrown outside Gracie Mansion, home of New York City's mayor. Police confirmed Sunday that an object that was ignited and thrown during an anti-Islam protest outside of Gracie Mansion on Saturday was an improvised explosive device. About 20 protesters, organized by far-right influencer Jake Lang, stood in front of the mayor's residence for the event called Stop the Islamic Takeover of New York City, Stop New York City Public Muslim Prayer. Over 100 counter-protesters also gathered. At 12:15 p.m. on Saturday, a protester fired pepper spray at counter-protesters and was arrested, according to NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch, who also said that about 15 minutes later, an 18-year-old counter-protester lit and threw an ignited device toward the protest area. That suspect is also in custody. New York City Mayor Zohan Mamdani, who is Muslim, was in the building at the time of the attack. He thanked law enforcement officers and condemned the violence in a statement. In a social media post, defense technology company Lockheed Martin said it had reached an agreement to quadruple munitions production. The post said work on the ramp-up had begun months ago. The announcement follows a Friday meeting between President Donald Trump and defense manufacturers who, according to the president, agreed to boost production of some precision-guided weapons. The U.S. Postal Service will run out of cash within a year unless Congress lifts a decade-old cap and allows the agency to borrow more money, the new Postmaster General warned in an interview. If it doesn't, the Postal Service might not be able to pay its employees or vendors by February 2027, with potentially dire consequences for mail delivery, Postmaster General David Steiner told the Associated Press, adding that a stamp hike to 95 cents could fix the agency's fiscal problems. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced that 53 medical schools have agreed to boost nutrition education, part of his push for doctors to focus more on preventing chronic disease through diet. Kennedy has spent months pressing schools to increase nutrition education, threatening funding cuts for those that refuse, and promising public recognition for those that comply. He has long argued that doctors are undertrained in nutrition, leading to a focus on treating chronic diseases with medication rather than preventing them with diet. Reverend Jesse Jackson's son on Saturday ripped former Presidents Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton for using the late civil rights icon's memorial service to take shots at President Trump. Jesse Jackson Jr. said the grandstanding Democrats didn't really know his father after they used their eulogy to bash the president, his policies, and his vision for America during Friday's star-studded send-off. Yesterday I listened for several hours to 3 United States presidents who do not know Jesse Jackson, unquote, the grieving son said Saturday during a private memorial service at Rainbow Push Coalition headquarters in Chicago. That's the Raw Naked Truth for March 9th, 2026. You can catch every episode of the Raw Naked Truth Daily News Brief, as well as our sister podcast, Carnivore Radio, with news analysis and commentary, and the rest of the Xvadio Podcast Network at xvadio.com, the Apple Podcast app, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Amazon Music, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.